Did you know that we can now reprogram brain cells to hunt down and clean up Alzheimer's? Or that a popular weight loss medication might be the key to breaking the cycle of addiction? From the future of universal genome design to why left-handed people win more, today I am going to tell you about the most groundbreaking discoveries in human health and biology. This is fresh science, and your understanding of the human body is about to change. 1. CAR-A therapy in Alzheimer's. When we think about Alzheimer's, we usually picture a slow and unstoppable decline of the brain. But what is actually happening inside? Essentially, Alzheimer's is a breakdown of the brain's communication system. It's caused by toxic proteins called amyloid beta that clump together to form sticky plaques. Think of these plaques as literal roadblocks between your brain cells. They cut off vital signals and eventually cause the neurons to die. This is why, for years, doctors have tried to use external antibodies to clear out those toxic amyloid plaques. The problem? These drugs often struggle to even reach the brain. This is where a revolutionary new strategy comes in. Usually, a type of brain cell called an astrocyte acts as a simple support system. However, researchers have now adapted the famous CAR-T cancer therapy to create something entirely new, CAR-A. In fact, by using a specific virus to genetically reprogram these astrocytes, they have turned them into elite cellular hunters. These cells can now recognize and literally eat away the plaques that cause memory loss. To prove this, scientists gave a single dose to mice with Alzheimer's. The result was staggering. Their brain plaques were cut in half in a very short time. And it gets even better. These modified cells don't work alone. They actually recruit the brain's entire immune system to join the cleanup operation. It's like giving your brain a permanent high-tech security team. While we are still in the early stages of human trials, this marks a massive shift from just taking a pill to actually reprogramming our own biology for a lifelong cure. We are witnessing incredible breakthroughs in Alzheimer's research every single week. Looking at the speed of these discoveries, when do you think Alzheimer's will finally become a 100% curable disease? I'd love to hear your predictions in the comments below. 2. The GLP-1 revolution in addiction treatment. You have likely heard of Ozempic or Wegovy as the ultimate weight loss miracle. But recently, doctors started noticing something very strange. Patients taking these drugs weren't just losing interest in food. They were also losing their cravings for alcohol, cigarettes, and even dangerous opioids. Usually, we think of addiction as a simple struggle of willpower. But science is showing us it's actually a biological loop in our brain's reward system. To prove this, a massive study analyzed the records of thousands of people over several years. The findings were groundbreaking. Those on these specific medications had a much lower risk of developing new addictions. Even more shocking, for people already struggling, the drugs drastically reduced the risk of fatal overdoses and emergency room visits. In fact, it seems these medications are doing more than just shrinking waistlines. They are actually resetting the brain's craving center. While we still need more clinical trials to be certain, we might be standing at the edge of a new era. Today, a single shot could be the key to finally breaking the cycle of addiction for millions. This discovery is changing the willpower debate into a biological one. Do you think a weekly shot is the final answer to ending addiction, or is there more to the human spirit that medicine can't reach? Join the discussion below.
3. Evo2 and genome design. While we're busy teaching AI how to write emails or generate art, scientists have achieved something far more profound. They have taught AI the language of life itself. It's called Evo2. And it's being described as the ChatGPT moment for biology. Usually, mapping a genome is like trying to read a massive library one sentence at a time, but Evo2 is different. To prove this, researchers trained it on 9 trillion base pairs of DNA. This massive scale allows the model to read an entire genome like a single book, seeing patterns that humans could never notice. In fact, it can predict if a genetic mutation will cause cancer with 90% accuracy, even without prior training. But here's the most mind-blowing part. It doesn't just read DNA, it writes it. Today, this AI can actually design entirely new biological structures from scratch, like synthetic mitochondria. To put it simply, we're moving from observing nature to literally programming it. And of course, to keep us safe, scientists have intentionally blocked the model from learning about dangerous viruses. It seems the future of medicine won't just be about finding cures, it will be about designing them letter by letter. 4. The secret psychological weapon of left-handed people. Have you ever wondered why so many legendary athletes like Messi or Nadal are left-handed? For a long time, we thought it was just because their moves were harder to predict, but a brand new study has revealed a much deeper secret. It turns out left-handed people might actually have a hardware advantage in their brains. Usually, when we face a stressful situation, our brain has to process information across its two hemispheres. To prove this, researchers found that in left-handed individuals, the communication between these two sides is significantly faster. In fact, this high-speed neural highway allows them to make split-second decisions under intense pressure. While a right-handed person is still processing a surprise move, a lefty has already reacted. Today, we know this isn't just about being rare or unexpected, it's about cognitive flexibility. They are less likely to choke or freeze when the stakes are high. However, this edge is most powerful in fast-paced sports like boxing or tennis. In slower games like chess, the gap begins to close. So, the next time you face a southpaw in a game, remember, you aren't just fighting a different angle, you are competing against a biological processor that is simply tuned for speed. To all the lefties watching, do you feel that hardware advantage in your daily life or during sports? And to the righties, have you ever felt like you were at a disadvantage against a southpaw? Let's settle this in the comments. 5. Natural solution for peanut allergy. Nature often hides the cure right next to the cause. For millions of people, a single peanut can be a life-threatening biological bomb. The culprit is a protein called ARAH2, which is so tough that it survives heat and even our digestive enzymes. But recently, scientists made an ironic discovery. It turns out the solution was hidden in the tiny red skin of the peanut itself. Usually, we just throw this part away. However, specific bacteria living on this skin produce enzymes that can literally dismantle the dangerous allergy proteins. To prove this, researchers treated peanuts with these natural microbes and fed them to allergic subjects. The results were life-changing. In fact, the treatment prevented anaphylactic shock entirely. Today, this discovery is opening the door to a world where peanuts are no longer a threat, but a safe snack for everyone. And the best part? It doesn't change the taste or texture at all. It's a perfect example of how the smallest microbes can solve our biggest health challenges. These were the latest breakthroughs in human biology and social science for this week. Which of these human-centered discoveries impacted you the most? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Fresh Science is here to bring you the most exciting breakthroughs from the edge of discovery. If you want to stay ahead of the latest news in science, make sure to hit that subscribe button and join our community. You can find all the scientific sources used for this video in the description below. Keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep learning. Stay curious and stay fresh.